40% of those questioned admitted to being influenced by people on social media. Almost 60% said they had feelings of jealousy or negativity about themselves because of who they follow. And interestingly, almost a quarter said it wasn't just celebrities, but their own friends.
Media has been around for a while. Since Instagram's debut in 2010 and the beginning of Snapchat in 2011, the landscape of social media changed forever. People could message each other instantly, share pictures with each other, and capture moments. It was among the most pivotal moments in history and brought everyone closer together than ever before. Like with all things, there are both positive and negative aspects of media, especially in terms of how teens perceive it.
I think social media has definitely given me both a negative and positive influence in terms of decisions I make in reality. So when it comes to social media, it's a platform where individuals around the world have the opportunity to express their emotions towards topics or situations around the world. So I sometimes reflect on these opinions and choose whether it is something that which can benefit me or not in making decisions in real life.
Social media has a negative effect on your character and the decisions you make because social media portrays this unrealistic image of life and how to live and how you should dress and how you should act. Now, of course, since it's not true, when you try to follow it, you're not really following anything that you can really relate to. So then the decisions you make will be not really benefiting yourself and you'll have this negative mentality for your character. So that's why I think it has a negative impact.
Social media has had more of a positive than a negative influence on my life, especially now during COVID times, because I'm a more extroverted person. I like to talk to people, and during COVID, we're mostly staying inside. And social media has just given me an opportunity to talk to friends a lot more often and just be more social in my daily life.
Social media, this interactive virtual community that allows you to share, exchange, and express ideas, interests, and creativity. We've seen in the past years how social media has been perceived through the eyes of young and old. There has been a mixture of good and bad. From retweeting your favorite quote to posting what you did Friday night, social media is definitely popular among all. However, even though it is accessible to everyone, there's a certain age group that is most affected by this online reality.
I think that the age group that is most affected by social media, based on my experience, is young teens and kids who are starting off on the app because they think it's cool without realizing how social media might actually affect them as they grow up and become adults. And I think that they're at a more vulnerable stage in their lives to be seeing social medias and therefore might be able to develop insecurities and issues with body images.
I'd say teenagers. I mean, well, you look at the numbers of teens versus everyone else, and they're much higher in terms of percentages, at least.
Yeah.
And you got people like teenagers saying they're like triggered all over social media and offended. So I don't ever see some old person being like taking something way too personally, right. or at least a lot less. So that's why I think teenagers.
Generally a younger group of people. So we're talking from middle school up to high school is the age when people are usually going through the most changes in their lives. And it's a stage when everything feels uncertain. You feel like you need to do more things. You need to be an adult, etc. And social media can act as something to fill in that void. But there's a problem with that because the second you start to depend on social media and you start to put your life into it, it sort of becomes an addiction. It keeps drawing you in because you feel like you need to have that now.
Right.
And I feel like the biggest impact that it can have on people is if you start with it very early, then you're going to be unable to leave it later on because you've come to depend on it to get all that validation and the acceptance that you feel like you need.
Right.
Since teens are the most popular on social media, there are many insecurities that are produced or intensified. Social media shows you the standards people put themselves to, and it can affect the expectation you have for yourself. This is especially true when teens compare themselves to celebrities that flaunt their appearance and body image, or promoting food diets that are more harmful than good and give a false representation of positive self-outlook and perception. It can manipulate teens, which can lead to consequences such as eating disorders and low self-esteem.
Some insecurities that I face through media, I guess, would be when it comes to visuals, hair and makeup and clothing, and especially your body and how you should look. Social media, once again, they created this unrealistic image of what beauty looks like and how you should act and how you should look. And I guess I tried to strive for that, and I ended up realizing that it's not real and I'm just hurting myself in the process. So I got insecurities from that.
I don't think any of my insecurities were caused by social media. I feel like they're more amplified because social media, people on social media usually depict the more perfect version of their life. And you see so much, I guess, beauty and positiveness in everyone else's life that when there's anything negative in yours, um, it just feels like it shouldn't be there. So it can affect, for me, it's affected a bit my mental health and my body image, but I wouldn't say to any extremes that it was before social media.
When I post on Instagram, I hate posting because I'm worried about what people will think of me.
Right.
So that's the only thing I actually feel uncomfortable doing on social media, but it's not that big of a deal.
Some insecurity that I faced caused by social media is probably the way I dressed, because Pinterest models and Instagram models always have a changing wardrobe, and it makes me wonder if my style correctly represents myself.
Facing pressure to conform to what society believes is the norm can also cause them to doubt themselves, their identity, and their appearance. They may start to wish they could change certain parts of their body or lifestyle because they'll feel as though they are missing something, or that they need something to feel more complete and confident. In other words, they're going to feel like they're missing out. Feeling judged by the media and friends can also become a problem. Teens may feel they are being criticized and mocked for their appearances and lifestyles, instead of being encouraged to be themselves and promote living their authentic selves.
The impact that social media generally has on people, I feel like it's mostly due to acceptance. People want to feel accepted in their daily lives. If they don't receive enough confirmation from people that they normally see around them, and especially with the pandemic going on and with the growing separation of people who talk face to face, it feels like harder and harder to get that feeling of community, that feeling of getting accepted, feeling a part of something. And that's, I feel like that's the real reason why people fall into this trap of insecurities, because you want to feel validated in your life, right? And that's what draws people into programs like Facebook and Instagram, and I don't know if LinkedIn counts as social media or Reddit, but like they're all there. And friendship paradox is always there, showing that you are always going to have friends who have more friends than you.
It just kind of depends what accounts you're following. Like if there's an account that someone is following, or an individual that someone's following, that doesn't make you feel good about yourself or about your life or the great things that you're doing, then I just wouldn't follow, or I would unfollow that account or that person. So I think it's kind of about just checking yourself, checking to see what it is that those insecurities could be, or what are things that like don't make you feel happy or don't make you feel good, and just kind of don't follow them anymore. And just surround yourself with the good stuff, really.
So in my opinion, I think it just has a negative effect towards my life. So because it's very distracting, and it's a method where it allows me to take a break from reality. So I feel like students my age are often overwhelmed with assignments and schoolwork, and I feel like social media has given us a sense of comfort and just let us relax a bit. So this is a problem as it often leads me to use it for a long period of time. It has led me to finish homework really late and certain assignments on time, which has taken a toll on my sleeping habits and eating habits.
In spite of all the different ages and different perspectives, this is what we see through social media.